Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am doing a sort of modern jungle build like the title suggests because I'm not very creative, but that's okay. At least at naming things. But yeah, if you're interested in this build, you can download off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. This build does feature a lot of CC. It's all Peacemaker CC. So it should be easy to track down. You just, Peacemaker, pretty common. I know not everybody likes CC, but I've just been in a really big modern kick lately, and he just has like the best custom content for modern builds, and so I've just really been into that. And I don't know, sometimes you just gotta roll with it, especially if you're not feeling other builds and you get like really stuck. You get like builder's block. So hopefully you guys like how this one turned out. I do too. I'm actually mostly proud of the interior. The exterior, I'm a little back and forth on it. I like how it turned out overall, but there are some parts about it that I'm just kind of like, I don't know, something about the stone texture. I go back and forth on it. But I made lots of lines in this build and have some really cool effects with the shadows in this. I really do like how that turned out. It just, overall, I like how it turned out. But the next build I do on this channel will not be modern because I need to like calm down. I actually have a modern build that's almost completely done and ready to be, voiceover and stuff. I was like closer to the end stage, but I'm holding off because I don't want this to be Penapple's modern build channel because that's not what it is. That's what I've been building lately. And that one also has CC in it because I don't know. Apparently I'm becoming a modern custom content builder, so let's maybe not. Not that it's not great, but I have come up with a lot of fun stories to tell you guys today. I've had a week. I've had a couple weeks. I recently moved, as you guys know, and I started my fall quarter of graduate school, and I've had a ride. So the first day of classes, I recently got a new used car, and so first day of classes, I go down and I go to, unlock my car with my little clicker, which is exciting for me because my last car didn't have automatic lock, or is it automatic locks? Whatever. Yeah, automatic locks. So when you press a button, it opens. I had to like manually open it. So I'm really excited to have a clicker, and then it didn't work. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Oh no, maybe my clicker's broken. That's kind of expensive to fix. I hope that's not the case. Go to start my car. Doesn't start. I'm like, bad words. My battery's dead. And I have class. So like I immediately am just like, okay, ditch the car. Car's not gonna work. We can't call AAA right now, like, and get to school on time. Like there's nobody around to give me a jump. I don't even know like I know how it works in theory. You connect the cables and stuff, but like I don't know enough of it to like, I don't have the cables, like just leave the car. So I'm booking it to class and I'm walking, and I actually make it a little bit early and on time because I was like booking it and I did give myself enough time. So I was like, okay, we're fine. We've made it. Your car didn't start this morning. It's quite a funny story. Like we'll deal with it when you're done with classes, which by the way, end at 5:30 in the afternoon. You got here at like 8. So it's a long day. So we're going on the campus tour. And I thought things were mostly resolved. But as we're starting the tour, my shoe completely falls apart. It just like basically the equivalent of exploding. Like the soles came apart, the side, and like I go from like having a functioning shoe to having basically a shoe bracelet. My foot's just hanging out. Like I'm just barely like clinging onto the inner sole with my foot, so I'm not walking directly on the pavement. And it's just like, what? Why now? So I had to go through the entire tour with my shoe hanging, or my foot hanging out of my shoe. And that was really rough. And kind of distressing. That's also the day I'm meeting like all of my new professors, and I'm just like, okay, this is great. But finally, I managed to borrow some packing tape. And so I'm just wrapping my shoe in clear plastic, and I'll put a picture up here because an event. Wrap my shoe in clear plastic and it looks terrible, terrible. But, you know, it's functional, it's functional. And so I'm like, okay, we made it through. We made it through. We're fine. I had one of my classmates gave me a ride back to my car because I did not think my shoe would hold up with the plastic. So I go and I change my shoes and I call AAA and they're like, okay, we'll be there in about an hour and we'll jump your battery, maybe. So AAA shows up and the guy hooks up his like voltage detector and my battery's completely dead, which means I need a new one. So instead of like doing homework and getting on track and everything, I had to go drive and buy a new battery, which is like $100, $100 plus, and have it installed. And so finally that was over. The car works now and it's fine. But I like just felt so like, for the next couple days, I felt so scrambled, so unorganized after that one event. And oh my gosh. But back to the build because the shape's all there. Oh my god. I added a ton of greenery, probably a little bit too much, but I had so much fun with these vines. You can get them in the debug mode, which is bb.show hidden objects in the cheat bar, and you just search for vine and they're gorgeous. I've seen other people use them before, but I would always forget to use them, and so I was very excited to use them now. I just love how it turns out, and so yeah, maybe it's a little bit too much greenery, but it's in the jungle, you know, modern meets jungle meets greenery, you know, it's just, with this build, I just kind of like went with it because I was definitely feeling some like hardcore builder's block, like I said. And so I just kind of was like, okay, just trust yourself, just go with it. If you like it, then probably somebody else somewhere will like it. But yeah, so I'm looking at my notes. What else can we talk about? Stretch. Okay. So let's tell fun stories now, because that was my like stressful, like this is the catastrophe that is my life sometimes story. But I went to the fair last night, like our county fair, and I had so much fun. Like I went with some of my classmates and it was just a blast. And so I got a couple of stories for you guys. My first one was I had corn on the cob, which is fantastic. But they like skewer it with a stick, and so it's almost like a corn on the cob lollipop. But the real reason why I wanted to talk about it is because, you know, those like containers that they use to like keep soup warm in like a cafeteria or something, you go and you scoop it out. Well, they had one of those, and that's where they were keeping the corn on the cob. But instead of like soup or something, it was just butter. It was just a vat of butter that the corn on the cob was just sitting in. And so they pulled it out and it's like dripping butter, and they put it in like a little like takeout container, which, by the way, back to the build. Oh, we're gone now. I'll get to it eventually when we do the bathroom. Never mind. Oh, great commentary, Penelope. So it's like dripping butter, and like it, like the initial amount of butter, I thought, oh, okay, this is the amount of butter. But it just kept like dripping because of all the like crevices of the corn. It like finally came out, and it was just so much better. Oh my gosh. It was really intense. This is the kitchen. I love how this turned out. One of the reasons why I did this build, I didn't even mention this, is because we got some new like free with base game, like an update, and it gave us some new tropical stuff. It gave us moving fans, it gave us sliding glass doors and sliding doors, and this gorgeous wallpaper. My only critique on it is I wish the wallpaper, the pattern could have been floor to ceiling as well. That would have been really, really great. But hey, it's a free update. What more can you ask for? Literally nothing. But this free update happened ages ago. This is how long. I did this build shortly after the free update, and you're only seeing it now, so you know. But I paired the sort of gray one with this like green wallpaper, and the wallpaper is custom content, and I just love the foresty kind of color with it, and it's really cute. And I ended up adding like these pops of orange because you know me and my pops of color, I like can't not. So, but you know, that was fun. But yeah, so back to the fair. You guys will get a kick out of the story. So you know how like county fairs, they'll have like the prize booths, and you like do things and you try and win a prize. Well, for whatever reason, almost like the majority of the prize stands, like, you know, they have like stuffed animals as prizes. They had pugs. They had pug stuffed animals. And like, there were two different types. There was one that was more cartoony, and there was one that was fuzzy or more realistic. And they came in different sizes, like small, medium, and large. And I didn't win one. It was so expensive. And like, me and my classmates went in to buy some tickets, and you used the tickets to go on rides and to you know, pay for the games to win a prize. And so we all went on a ride, and then we only had so many tickets left, and we weren't very good at the games. Like, for a little bit I thought maybe I'll get one of the pugs. Like, one of my classmates was like doing the basketball like hoop one, and like she was like, I think I got this. And so like, she missed the first basket though, and we only had 2 throws left. And I was like, oh, because she had gotten both of them, I would have gotten a pug. But at the last moment, she got a basket, and so she won a like little stuffed taco with a mustache and an angry face on it, which was pretty good. I'm glad she won something. It was a lot of fun. And one of my classmates got some good footage of her like actually like making the basket. It was really good. But the person who went before us, I feel really bad about this. It was like this probably like 10-year-old boy, and he was good. He was like making the baskets. And so like, you know, he won any prize. Like, he was allowed to pick anything that he wanted. And I was just looking, you know, I was thinking he'd pick like the dragon or something, and he pointed to the pug, and I involuntarily, I was like, he gets a pug? Really loud. And he turned and looked at me with this kind of like scared face, and I was just like, oh no. Oh no, I'm scaring small children with my like intense love of pugs. And I was just like, my voice was so like, what? He gets a pug and I don't? Oh my gosh. I was really sad. I wanted a pug. It was a big It's not like I need any more plushies, let's be honest. Like, I left a lot back home before I moved for this project, or I don't even know what it's called. Program started with a P, and I still have like 3. No, 4. No, 3. Penelope can count up to 3. But yeah, so no, it was really bad. But yeah, so oh my gosh, I just love how this dining room turned out. And I did this fun trick with the lamps, which are CC, but I kind of tiered them different levels because they came in like short, medium, tall, and so I just like did that, and I love how it turned out. I think it looked really cute, and I did turn down the amount of lighting in this room because of it, because they're so bright when you put all of them together. But it looks so cute. I mean, God, look at it. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so third and last story from, oh no, wait, I forgot a completely different story. Oh my gosh, I have 2 more. Oh my gosh, the fair was an event. I was there for a while, but so to go to park at the fair, there was a ridiculously long line of cars, like in all like 4 directions, or well, I guess 3 directions to get into it. And there's just like traffic. And so I'm not driving. So I don't completely hold myself responsible for this. But one of my classmate who was driving was just like, let's just cut. And I'm like, okay. Like, I definitely, was it morally good? No, not one bit. There were people who were waiting there longer than us. To get us where we needed to go faster? Yes. But he pulled up next to a car and just kind of like was like, okay, I'm gonna let me in now. And so she let us in, and we were like, okay, I guess that worked. But then, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's basically standing traffic, and this guy from this big truck in front of us, he's wearing like his cowboy hat and his cowboy boots, and he gets out of his car and he walks up to our car, and like, my classmate rolls down his window and he's like, yeah, and the guy's like, you cut my daughter in line. And I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna die. He probably has a gun. We're gonna die. And like he said something about you better let her like in front of you at some point or like whatever, and just like we were just like this is karma, this is a retribution, this is what we deserve. But he got back into his car and we actually managed to let her get back in front of us. And like we found out one of the reasons why the guy was so upset, other than the fact that we shouldn't have been cutting, honestly, was because they were playing rock, paper, scissors from separate cars. Like they both would stick their hands out the window and then play rock, paper, scissors. But oh my gosh, like we legit thought we were gonna die. So yeah, don't cut in line. It wasn't really worth it. Oh my gosh, this bedroom turned out so nice though. I would love to have this bedroom. In the bathroom, what I was going to talk about earlier is I put the tub in a corner because I thought it looked really nice, and it was a really great use of the space of bumped out just for like architectural detail. And it actually works. When I placed it there, I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but it looked so good, I was like, whatever. But I tested it. I actually tested something, guys. I actually took the time to put a sim in the game and have them use the tub, and it worked. Aren't you proud of me? Oh my gosh, I'm one of those I won't use the word lazy. I'm one of those builders who doesn't really care whether things work. Most of the time I think they do. I don't know. I used to test stuff and I feel like I have a good enough grasp to know when something will most likely work, and then I just don't have like enough time in my life to go back and test stuff. I hardly have enough time to do this. So, you know. But I love this mirror. I hate how low down it is. So if you position it just right and then raise it up, you can have it lower. I don't know if it works. I didn't test that because, like I said, I'm a mess. But yeah. Yeah, and you can see I also ended up using some of the green wallpaper with the leaves, and it's so cute. But this bathroom, oh my gosh. The interior of this build is what I'm truly proud of. But the exterior isn't too bad. But the interior, like, drool. I just love it. I love it. Okay, so I have my fourth and last fair story. I don't know how I got so many. I guess just because I had so much fun. But the one ride that we went on, that we kind of pooled our resources together to go on, and it was $3 per person. It was expensive, but there was 4 of us, and we went on one of those rides that you spin like around one axis, and then that axis spins as well. And so I guess it's like, is it the tilt-a-whirl? Is that what they call it? I forget, but you know, it spins, and like you can actually like reach out your hand and high five a person. And so I did that because I was on the end and I high fived my classmate when the ride was just starting and when it was finishing. Because when it was going fast, honestly, we could have broken something. It was too fast. But it was so funny because when you're on the ride, when you hit the far point, like towards the like outside of like the trajectory, you kind of almost slowed for a minute because of momentum. And when I was standing in line, there was this one girl who just like, when she like slowed, she was right next to me and she was just like, hi. And so I did that too, and I had this perfect moment where it was just like this older couple, and like I went like right up next to him and I was like, hello. And then I like whipped away, and it was fun. But also when we were at the fair, we noticed that there were a lot of like high schoolers and middle schoolers out on dates. Which is just kind of funny to see. But there was one group of kids who went on the ride before us, and I think what happened was it was a group of friends, and I think 5 people, and so they managed to fit 3 in one and 2 in the other. And I think they're trying to get 2 of their friends together, because I put this boy and girl in the same one, and like the girl was not having it, and I felt really bad for her. But it was a little funny to watch because like when they started the ride, they were at the complete opposite ends, you know. But the momentum of the ride just slams the person like next to you. But she was leaning away. And like afterwards, I asked my friend who was in the same spot as her if she could have leaned. And she was like, no, I don't know how she managed to have the strength to fight the momentum. And like I could feel it. Like my friend was like just right next to me. And so, man, but I don't think it was like a dangerous situation. I think she was fine. Like, she was with friends and stuff. I think it was just that sort of middle school getting paired up with somebody type thing. But boy, if she didn't fight that momentum, oh my gosh. But I loved how this office area turned out, and that like branch thing I put on the wall, it is CC, like most things. It's actually a bookshelf, and so you could actually put stuff on it, but I liked how it looked by itself. I kind of like the simplicity of it, so I just left it, and I think it turned out really well. It was like really cute, and I added a little fan here, sort of to celebrate the fact that we have ceiling fans now, and also just because I liked, you'd want a fan on your desk too, type thing. Oh my gosh, I feel like I just ran a mile a minute with my talking. Although, update on the jogging, it's been a while since I've talked about the jogging. The place where I live right now has a gym, and so I've really gotten back into jogging. There was a time when I was actually going 9 miles a week, but when I started school that slowed down, but I think I'm going to try and pick it up so I can maybe not get 9 miles a week, because that was like 3 miles 3 times a week. It was a lot. But I definitely want to increase it because I want to exercise at least 3 times a week. But yesterday I jogged for 2 miles and I did it in 32 minutes, and I was so proud of myself. I was like, this is actually like relatively speedy. Like, there are tons of people who can jog faster than me. Of course they can. But my own personal level of pride, I was just like, look at you go. That is like, the first one got done in 15 minutes, and then the second mile I got done in 17, and I was just like rocking it. So, just, proud of myself. I feel like I talk about it too much. I'm like, guys, congratulate me. Congratulate me. Oh my gosh. But yeah, what else could I talk about? Oh my gosh. I was in class and we were talking about like how to interact with people and like signs of respect and things like that. And so, one of the signs of respect is eye contact and making sure you aren't too imposing. So if like sitting down to talk to somebody, if you're really tall, but the teacher said something I thought was just so funny, and she said it so seriously. She was like, and being tall is not a good social skill. And I was just like, I didn't know height was a skill or could be seen as one. And also, you can't really fix that. And I felt really bad because there are some like tall guys in my class, and I was like, I was like, that thing you can't change? Well, it's not a very good social skill. I was like, oh my. So I thought I'd tell you that. Speaking of social skills, one of my classmates, I love her to death. She's very blunt. And so I went on a jog and I came back to my locker and I saw her, and like, in the nicest way I've ever heard somebody say something like this, she was just like, when I run, I turn so red, and it was really hot that day and it was cooler inside. And so just red, very sweaty. Obviously I had gone running, and she just looked at me. She was like, you look like a beet. And like, I feel like if anyone else had said that to me, I would have been insulted, but just the way she said it, like such awe in her tone, and there was no malice. It was just really adorable. It was just so adorable. Oh my gosh, my class is wild. But speaking of interior design, I mean, we weren't, but that's my segue, because we're building. This light is also CC, and it's gorgeous. I've never found a use for this light before, but it just, in this build, it works so perfectly. Loved it. But I actually, for my apartment came fully furnished, so I had a desk, I had a dresser, and I had a bed. And so, and I had a desk chair, but I replaced it because mine's a lot nicer, and that one, the wheels wouldn't work, and it was painful, and if you leaned back in it, you threatened to tip it over. So I was like, okay, let's just not use this. But I also bought like an accent armchair, and I was really, really excited. I set it up all by myself. It has a weird pocket at the bottom of it where they put the legs to the chair. Like, it's like built into the base, the seat of the chair. And so I'm just like, I could hide stuff in there. I made an inappropriate joke about illicit substances that I won't repeat. But it's like, it put stuff in there. But I was so excited, and I was, texting my boyfriend. I was like, oh my gosh, my chair's supposed to arrive today, and I'm excited, and I'm a little bit nervous because I have to go like pick it up, and it's going to be a huge package, and blah, 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 blah. And so fast forward, I'm talking to all my classmates about it too, because that's what I do. I overshare. You don't want to hear about my chair all day long? Well, guess what? You're going to hear about it anyways, because Penelope likes to talk, and Penelope likes people to listen to her. But so I, fast forward, and my boyfriend texts me, and he's like, chair there? Like, did the chair show up? And my mind was a complete blank. I was like, chair there? Chair where? What? And so I turned to my friend. I'm like, look at this text. Isn't it so funny? I have no idea what it means. And she just looks at me. She's like, Penelope, your chair, did it show up? And I was like, oh. And it was just so funny that I spent I think I probably told this classmate at least twice I talked about this chair in the day, and I've been talking to my boyfriend about it all day, so everyone knew about my chair except for me. I was like, oh, how did I forget that? Oh my gosh. But I love how this living room turned out. I love the use of patterns in this, and I'm really digging the sofa cushions on the new chair that we got. Also, the octagonal coffee table with the glass. Oh, goals. So gorgeous. So gorgeous. The sofa and the little side tables, the smaller ones, those are CC. A lot of this, the rug is CC. The fireplace is CC. The table that the TV is on is CC. The TV's not CC. The fruit is CC. Wow, there's just a lot. I don't really do things in halves. I'm a very all-in kind of person. Like when my car broke down, I was just like, okay, we're walking. I can be pretty, once I make a decision, I very much keep to it. Well, that's kind of a lie. Because when I build, I'm very waffly on whether or not I'm going to put a specific thing in which chair. So I'm very particular, and it can take me a while, but once I get my mind set on something, I just do it. I go for it. I didn't get into grad school the first time. I went for it again. I just applied again. And then I got into a specialized program. So, pacha. But yeah, so I know that CC isn't everyone's favorite, and that it's a lot less accessible for people. And so that's one of the reasons why I tend to use Peacemaker CC only, because he's kind of one of the most popular custom content creators. His site is really easy to use, really easy to download most things. There's very rarely any glitches with his CC. I haven't experienced any performance issues. And so on the spectrum of CC, it's not that bad. Yeah. Oh, what was I going to say? We still have some time. And I feel like I've talked about everything. Oh my God, I did. I talked about everything. Oh, this mirror is cute. And I love how I mix it with the glass, or with the metal. That metal sort of wall statue is from City Living, and I feel like I don't use it enough. Probably because it doesn't have a mirrored option, but mixed with the mirror, it just turned out so cute. And I really love doing stuff like that. Also, there's a spa area out here, and how gorgeous would that be? But we're actually coming up on the end of the build. Talk too much, and now I don't have enough time. But I really hope that you guys all enjoyed this build and my rambling stories. As always, if you did, feel free to give me a like, a comment, or subscribe, especially if you're interested in being notified as when my next build is. I'm kind of trying to put them out every week and a half, but you know. But I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!